This is an Eye on Annapolis bonus podcast.
Well, I'll tell you, with over 20 years of stand-up comedy, Tom Papa is one of America's top comedic voices. He's also an actor, host, author, and on-stage bon vivant. He has 5 highly rated stand-up specials on Netflix. His third book, We're All in This Together, so Make Some Room, is just out now. And he's coming to Annapolis on August 2nd. But right now, he's here with us on the phone. Welcome, Tom Papa. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Good, man. First off, congratulations on such a successful run. And it is overly impressive that you did it all without TikTok.
It's amazing to think we were able to even survive without TikTok.
True.
But I definitely have to say that it's I'm using it all that I'm using all of it at this stage of my career, which is pretty funny.
You got 2 daughters, man. They can teach you how to do that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It is true. I give it to them whenever I'm like, can you just edit this and get it to me?
I'm living dual lives over here in different worlds, but dual lives, that's for sure. First things first, the show, August 2nd. It's a Ram's Head Presents show at Maryland Hall, and tickets are still available at ramsheadonstage.com or marylandhall.org. And if you are looking for a night of laughter, and we can all use it right about now, another fine comedian might say it, here's your sign. Again, ramsheadonstage.com and marylandhall.org. Well, welcome back to Annapolis, man. I think the last time you were here was back in January of 19, before the pandemic, and a lot has changed since then, man. What can we expect when you take the stage at Maryland Hall?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess it was 19. Well, hopefully I'm funnier. I think it should be an hour and a half of you being able to escape all the madness out there and just come and enjoy yourself. I mean, I've been touring this act now for the last couple of years, and it's funny. You go around and you do your act and you get close to recording it, and a lot of times you get tired of the material. And it's kind of the opposite with this run. I'm enjoying it, and it keeps growing each time, and I'm having so much fun with it. And I think it is because the rest of the world is so filled with such madness that it's not just an escape for the audience. It's like I get to escape it all as well. I
totally agree with you. And I mean, in your human observation, the real human comedy. I mean, we're all living a comedy ourselves, And
yeah, exactly.
You exasperate it. I mean, you bring it out to front. I mean, you sit there and say, okay, yeah, hey, you're fat. You don't have a body of an Olympic athlete. Hey, guess what? I mean, it's true.
Yeah, we're all the same. It's really funny. When you're young, you kind of think, well, no, I'm doing things differently and I'm cooler than them. No, you're all, everybody's exactly the same. Everyone's losing their keys and cleaning up after the cat throws up on your bed. We're much more alike than we are different.
That's true. Did you know Paula Poundstone has 10 cats?
I was just with Paula the other night, actually, and we were doing Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me together.
Oh.
And she's such an inspiration. I love her so much. And she literally was just telling me a story how we were talking about sleeping and how to sleep. And she goes, I can't even have this conversation because I have 2 new kittens and I've been sleeping in the bathroom floor with them over the last week. And I thought she was making a joke, but no, she loves cats.
Yeah, it's insane. My claim to fame is, and I'm working it until I die, is when we were talking to her and they said, okay, can you talk to her at 9 a.m.? And I'm like, okay, I'm on East Coast. I figured she's up in New York or something like that. And she says, no, I'm here at 6 o'clock. I just got up. I said, so I'm in bed with Paula Poundstone? And she says, roll with it. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah,
she's so special.
She is. She was just here. It's funny, we were talking about the pandemic, and it seemed that everyone was learning how to make bread during the pandemic, but you were like the trendsetter, and you were doing that way before it was cool. You still doing it?
Yes. Thank you for noticing that. It's kind of like when people get into a band after you've been with them for 10 years and you discover them before everybody else. Yeah, same thing. I'm doing it. I'm literally doing it this morning. I can't stop doing it. My whole podcast is based on breaking bread with people. And it's a real passion. I really do love it.
How did it bubble up in your life?
I just had a friend, like I always cooked and made stuff for my family, and my grandparents and my mother were all great cooks, and I just always really enjoyed it. And then I learned about it from a friend of mine in a writer's room. We were writing on a TV show together, and I'd never heard of sourdough starter and natural yeast and all of this, and he had just learned it and was teaching me all about it, and it sounded so crazy. And I told it to my family. I said I had no idea this even existed, and then my daughter got a sourdough starter going for me for Christmas. They gave it to me in a bowl, and I would say it's one of my best acting moments, was pretending that I was grateful for this bowl of goo. But it truly was a great gift, because I used it and made my first couple loaves of bread, and something about it just hooked me, and I haven't stopped.
That's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, I want to shift gears a little bit. I want to play you something from your You're Doing Great special on Netflix back in 2020. And if you can just hang on 1 second.
I travel the whole country, and everybody is freaking out. Everywhere I go, people are doing deep yoga breaths in the airport. They're downloading meditation apps on their phone, just trying to keep it together. Calm down. You're doing great. You're doing great. I'm telling you, you're doing great. Life isn't perfect. It never was, and it never will be. We all got stuff to deal with. You're doing great.
So how are we looking now?
You're still doing great. You and I, look at what we're doing. We're screwing around in the middle of the week, talking about nonsense, and it's summertime. There's total chaos, and there's definitely reasons to be worried about certain aspects of our life, of course. But it's easy to be an optimist and be hopeful when things are great. I think the real value of being hopeful is when things are challenging. And I think that's when you actually can create some change and get through it. And I refuse to live a cynical life.
I appreciate that. I've got another friend of mine that's a comic out west, Craig Shoemaker, and he's Laughter Heals, and he's just to get away for 90 minutes and see Tom Papa here in Maryland is just what the doctor ordered for a prescription for that chaos that we've got. Sit back, laugh. That's pretty much all we can do. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of control over where we're going, but we can laugh and we can make the best of it. And you're instrumental in making that happen. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I get a lot out of it too. And I think it's important for all of us. And you think we're the first human beings to deal with troubling times and difficult challenges. It's part of the gig. It's part of what you have to deal with when you show up here for your short little life. Try and enjoy it, and then when things get real crazy, just go live in a cabin in the woods and hide out for a while.
Well, that special where that clip came from, that was actually filmed in a theater in Newark, right? For Netflix. And I mean, you as a true Jerseyite, I mean, I know you dissed on the state there in that one, and you're allowed to as a true Jerseyite. You can diss on Jersey all you want. It's just the people that aren't from Jersey.
I don't think I dissed on Jersey. I don't think I dissed on Jersey in there, but I let Staten Island have it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It was okay. Well, as a Jerseyite, you can diss on Staten Island for sure, but but here's an honest question for you that has nothing to do with whatever exit you live off of the Garden State Parkway. But what is it about Jersey and comedians? If you look at some of the most brilliant comic minds are from there. Abbott and Costello, Jim Brewer, Kelsey Grammer, Buddy Hackett, Chelsea Handler, Artie Lang, Jim Norton, Joe Piscopo, Chris Rock, Tom Papa. And, I've even got to give credit to Mitch Hedberg, who honorary resident, he moved there. I mean, Jersey is a wealth of comic genius.
Yeah, it really is. I think you have to have a sense of humor to live there. I think as a kid, you hear like people on late night shows and different things always making jokes about New Jersey. And you're like, as a kid, you're like, what do they mean? Why are we a punchline? And then as you grow up, you realize there is a lot to make fun of, and there is a lot that is hilarious, and it's very densely populated. It doesn't have the best weather, but it is a great place to live. And I think it's because people have you can't live there successfully or happily without having a sense of humor. You really can't. That's the difference between people from New Jersey and Long Island. Long Island is basically New Jersey, just a little further east. But they don't laugh at themselves. They don't have a real great sense of humor. And there's been some great comics that have come out of there. But I think New Jersey, I think we have more comics because you have to be able to laugh at yourself.
People always see the worst in it too. I mean, people are like, how's it called the Garden State? I said, well, what do you know? The Turnpike? That's.
Yeah, right. I get it. You land in Newark, you get on the Turnpike, you go past the refineries. That's not our best parts, but you go to Western Jersey or down to the beach.
Yeah. And
you go up towards the New York border, up like towards Hudson County. And I mean, it's gorgeous. I truly love it. If my wife grew up there too, and I could probably go back and live there again, actually, but my wife's from there and doesn't want to return.
Well, and we know who wears the pants in the family, I guess, don't we?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, I usually ask this of musicians that I talk to, but I'd like to sort of see if I can get your spin on this. But if your management called you up this afternoon and said, Tom, we can put you on stage with any other comic, dead or alive, for a dual build show, the marquee outside is going to read tonight, Tom Papa and who's that going to be?
It's a crazy question because you're setting me up to have a horrible set. I would probably pick George Carlin.
Yeah, God, he was great, man. I saw one of his later shows in Vegas. I hate Vegas, but I mean, I was there for that. It was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I never got to see him live. To be that insightful and that silly at the same time was the perfect combination.
I'll tell you, you started your comedy career, I guess, at about 25. And if my math is right, you had kind of graduated college when that comedy bug really hit you. And it's a tough career, but I mean, how long did it take you to realize, this might actually work? Or has it?
Yeah, I think I wanted it since I was a kid. And then literally the first time I was on stage, I was like, all right, this is everything that I thought it was going to be, even though I was performing in front of 5 people for free in this club. It was, I knew instantly, well, this is what I'm going to do. And making it was, I mean, you have ideas of, moving along in the culture in your career, but truly making it at that age was just being able to do it. If I could not have a job and just do this and get to call myself a comedian, that was it. And you don't really, when you love something and it hits you like that, you're not worried. You're not thinking about where am I headed? You're not thinking about, is this right for me? You just know this is me. So that's success right there.
Absolutely. What do you think you'd be doing if you weren't doing this? Have any idea?
I used to think that I would be writing for a small paper or something like that. But now that I've gotten so good at baking, maybe a bagel shop. Maybe run a bakery. That's
a perfect retirement gig.
I know.
Different cities and on buses and planes and trains. No, go down to the bagel shop and make the bagels.
No, exactly. If I've written a bunch of books, and it's kind of a nice retirement is still do gigs once in a while, and then you write your books, and then run your little bagel shop at the beach, and you open up in the morning, you're closed by 2 p.m. That sounds like a pretty good plan.
It's a good gig to me. Well, I'll tell you, Tom, I want to thank you so much for your time this afternoon, and I can't wait to see you on August 2nd. I already have my tickets. Again, there are some tickets available at ramsheadonstage.com or marylandhall.org. And for everyone listening, you want to head over to tompapa.com, and that's P-A-P-A, and subscribe to the newsletter and find out all that's happening in the life of Papa. And you will notice on December 6th, he's going to be in the booming metropolis of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Where else do you want to spend the holidays?
I tell you, you're a glutton for punishment.
Nice spending some time with you. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, thanks so much, Tom. Safe travels.
Look at you. Look at you. Still alive. Good job. Proud of you. Oh, thank you so much for that. This is so nice to be here. We're going to have a good time. I hope. They say these are very exciting times. They are. Some people say they're scary times. I disagree. I think these are very exciting times. When they're changing all the rules, we can do anything we want now. I say, let's kidnap some billionaires. Why not? We got a lot of problems. 5 guys have all the money. Let's go get them. Who's gonna stop us? Look, I'm all for you being a billionaire. Good job. Good job. You worked hard, you changed the world, and you're a billionaire. You get to be a billionaire for 24 hours. You don't start giving that money away to poor people by morning, we're coming to get you. Could you imagine $1 billion? I don't even dream like that, do you? One person, $1 billion? No, I used to be bothered by big dreams and high expectations. Not anymore. This is it, guys. This is it. We're already doing it. You did it. Good job. This is it. Really, for me, a good day now is any day I don't have to retrieve a username and password. What a great day. There's nothing worse on the planet when you're about to have some fun and you're cock-blocked by the username and password. There's nothing worse. I mean, I know there's wars going on and things are on fire, but for us, there's nothing worse. And it's not like in the olden times in fairy tales and storybooks when you need a magical password and you go on an adventure and you get something amazing for it. You know, you need the password to get in the gate and you go into the dark forest and become friends with a talking crow. And you fight a demon with a willow stick. And you get the password and the doors open up and a unicorn gives you a ride to a magical wizard who gives you gold coins and sexual favors. We don't get any of that after pouring our heart and souls into our devices for 3 straight hours, giving away all our family's secrets, our mom's maiden name and who she had sex with in high school. And then we play that squarey game like we're in nursery school. Is there a stoplight in the square? Is there a dump truck in the square? Was that my dead grandma in the square? And then they send you a bunch of codes to other emails you don't have the password for either. And then finally you get the password. Do we get sexual favors from wizards? No. What do we get? What do we get? We get to order on the Pizza Hut app. Yay! Yay! If only I had the courage to call someone on the phone 3 hours ago and place this order. But I'm scared of people now. I don't know what that 16-year-old manager at the Pizza Hut's gonna ask me, but it's gonna be scary. There's no way around it. We're all being changed. We're all being dragged into the metaverse. We're being turned into robots as we speak. You remember you before these devices? As a different person. You get a glimpse of it every once in a while when you go out into the world without your phone. You ever do that? You ever leave your phone behind? By mistake, of course. You wouldn't do it intentionally. But just go out about the day without your phone. Oh, what a great day. Once you get past the crying and the dry heaving and tugging on strangers' pant legs, asking for help. Once you get through all of that, it's a magical day. You just walk around with your own thoughts, just thinking about stuff. Wow, this must be what Benjamin Franklin felt like. Just walking around, thinking about kites and candies and syphilis. But there's no getting around it. The world is just, it's too easy with it now. Could you imagine traveling without your phone? Could you imagine leaving tomorrow, going to the airport, getting on a plane and leaving for 3 days without your phone? Oh, terrifying idea. How'd you even get to the airport? That's a good question. How did you get to the airport? Is Uber responding to smoke signals now? And what happens once you're at the airport and they change your flight or they change your gate? How are you gonna know? You're not gonna know. You're just gonna wander the halls of the airport until you die. You're going to die at the airport on the floor outside of a Hudson News. That's filled with things that could save you if only you had Apple Pay. That'd be a good ending to the story. Or would it? Or would it? What happens if you die and you go up to heaven and they're like, oh, we weren't going to let you in, but you did your best. All right, you get in. Welcome to heaven. Congratulations. What's your username and password?
This has been a bonus podcast from Ion Annapolis. Please visit us at ionannapolis.net. Follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Ion Annapolis. And if you haven't subscribed to the Daily News Brief podcast, go for it. And all of your local news will be delivered to your phone, tablet, or smart device by 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday.